let's get started. So this class is a brand new invention for me called adaptive Tai Chi. So once upon a time, I was a teaching assistant for a group that was called Adaptive Yoga. And in that case, it meant it was a yoga class specifically geared toward people with back pain or people with anxiety. Someone came who had MS, and we learned how to do wheelchair transfers onto the yoga mat and stuff like that. And the cool thing about that class was there were a number of assistants, and so everyone got hands-on care, support with their yoga if they wanted to. That was kind of cool to me as a concept. Like, this is great. Anyway, so in this case, adaptive Tai Chi means if you want to learn the Tai Chi form, we're going to be working on moves from the 24 movement Yang style form. And it does all this sort of walking across the room and then standing on one leg and, dipping down and stretching and all this stuff. You can do that. We'll learn that eventually, but we're going to start everything seated, and then we're going to move to some supported work with the chair. And then from there, you can move to the unsupported work so that any level of balance or stability that you feel, you have something to practice. And then, God forbid, you sprain your ankle or something like that, you can still come to class. So that'll be nice. Sound okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's start. We'll start seated. Here we go. Opening gesture. Right hand makes a fist. Left hand open palm. Cover the fist with the palm and you bow, signifying our heart connection. And you circle back into the heart. Okay, first two moves of the form. This chair is a little short for me, but I'm going to come sort of the edge of my seat. And the first one, we do pulling down the heavens. So we're going to inhale and reach up. And then we exhale and just flow on down. Your hands can move wherever they need to avoid your legs or the arms of the chair. You inhale up, and you exhale down. About 5 of those. So here comes 3. 4. And 5. Good. The second move we're going to do is called commence Tai Chi. And so this is in the beginning of Tai Chi form, usually you'll do an opening gesture like this, you step out, and then this is your first move. And so its literal name translated from the Chinese is commence, start your Tai Chi. So Tai Chi commences now. So here we go. Our hands just float up to shoulder height, and then they float back down. Now the trick is you want your elbows to stay pointing down and your shoulders stay relaxed and heavy. Inhale and float to shoulder height. We exhale and float back down. We'll do 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. As you come down, the shoulders drop, the elbows drop, the wrists, and then the fingers last. Good. And relax. I don't know why, that's just so relaxing for me. So this move, they say, the commence Tai Chi, has all of Tai Chi in it. That's sort of a mythological, maybe slightly hyperbolic statement, but the notion is that if you can get this sense of dropping and moving kind of as a wave, you have mastered the essence of the rest of the practice. So my suggestion to you is, if you don't take anything else away from this class, a couple times this week, try to practice the commence Tai Chi movement. Now, if you want, you can do that in a chair, you can do it standing. Oh my gosh, it looks exactly the same in the standing position. And we'll do it together standing in a minute. You don't have to get up right now. But just to let you know what you can do at home, I would say, do 5 or 10 at a round, and it's actually quite soothing as a moving meditation. So we'll do a couple more seated warm-ups. So the next thing we're going to do is the Tai Chi ball Qigong. So in this, you imagine that you're holding a ball in your hands. It's about this size, about the size of your torso is this ball. And let's try the first couple movements. So this first one is just turning the ball over and turning the ball over, turning the ball over, and turning the ball over. Then let's combine this with our breath. So we're going to inhale as you do the change and exhale as you go top and bottom. Inhale to the sides, exhale and top and bottom. Inhale to the sides, exhale top and bottom. Inhale to the sides, exhale top and bottom. A couple more times. Inhale, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Exhale, elbows heavy. And then repeat a few more times with the pace of your own slow breath. That might be faster than mine or slower than mine. When you're ready, bring your hands up and place them on a cloud. And as you exhale, let the cloud settle down. Pause and notice for a moment. Should feel pretty groovy. Good. And relax. What do you think? Feel groovy? Yeah. So one of the ways Taiji works, in my understanding of it, is when we make the body do smooth stuff, the mind thinks, oh, we're supposed to do smooth stuff now. So the mind smooths itself out in mimicry of the body and the breath. So let's do a couple other Taiji ball qigong. The next one we're going to do is simply rolling the ball. So you get your ball, and this is just a forward roll. And in this case, we're not going to necessarily coordinate the breath, just breathing naturally. We're just having a slow forward roll of this Taiji ball. Try to make it smooth. So one idea is go as slow as you can before it kind of gets jerky. You just gently roll that ball. And then you may notice in my body, my torso kind of rocks and rolls a little bit too. I'm exaggerating a little right now, but feel free to play with the idea as if you're making this movement come or emerge from your torso, the power of your torso moving the hands. Then one fun thing you could try is you could make your ball small. I call this the wizard. Oh, my crystal ball, yes. And then another thing you could try is you could make that ball really big. And I don't have a cute nickname for this one, but maybe we'll come up with one together. And it's playful. There's no wrong way to do this, really. So just get that imagination going. Play. Then bring that ball back to a more normal Taiji ball size and go the other way. So I was rolling forward, now I'm going to roll back. I know, how does that work? One of the things we find in Tai Chi, and maybe that's shared with that Feldenkrais work or Alexander technique or some of these others, is we find the places where the brain just sort of stops and goes, can I move the other way? Oh. We're just bringing consciousness in there. So see, we can roll the ball back. Make it small. The wizard, my crystal ball. And then what if we made it extremely large? Just feel, how would that work for you? Like for me, I'm like, oh, am I still even rolling it? I don't know, but I'm just making something up. Slowly shrink that ball back down. And then when you're ready, bring your hands up like you're placing them on a cloud. Inhale. As you exhale, float it down. Pause for just a moment, generating a bit of just meditative awareness. Enjoy. Yeah, I needed this morning. All right, let's do two more-ish moves of the Taiji ball Qigong. Is this enjoyable for you so far? It's one of my favorite Qigong, and the thing I want you to take from this, so if you don't take anything else from class, do you remember what you were supposed to take from class if you can't remember anything else? Yeah, commence Tai Chi. This is the first move in your form, and so just practice that a little bit. If you take anything else from class, or maybe an alternate, I don't remember what the heck that was supposed to be, but then the Taiji ball Qigong, you get to just make it up. You just have a ball shape is the only real, there's some technical practices, but you can just make a ball and breathe, and then you have 5 minutes of Qigong. You can just make up yourself all week long if you want. So, or get a friend, so have a little fun. So now we'll do two more options for you. So get your Taiji ball. And this one is rolling the ball forward. So I'm going to inhale as it comes in and up. And I exhale as it comes out and down. So it's like I'm holding this ball in my hand. So I inhale in and up. I exhale out and down. Now you'll also notice for me, my torso moves a bit with this. You can or not as you like. You can exaggerate it, you can make it really small, whatever you like. So exhaling on the out and down, inhaling on the in and up. And then feel free to follow my pace or do this at your own pace. Okay, finishing that up, and now we'll go the other way. So I'm going to inhale on the up and back. I'm going to exhale on the down and out. Inhale on the up and back. Exhale on the down and out. Inhale on the up and back. Exhale on the down and out. Try a few with your own pace. Let's do one more of those. And all the way down to your belly. Okay, one more set. So we're going to go in a horizontal circle. So I'm going to go out to this side. That's your left, my right. Forward. And I'm going to circle back on your right, my left. So you exhale on the outward. As I cross that center, I inhale on the back. Exhaling on the out. And obviously, my torso helps this movement. So I'm just kind of turning my waist and leaning a little bit. And you can do that as big or small as feels good to you. Let's do maybe two more of these. Come do Tai Chi. Oh, don't leave. Too bad. Almost caught one. Let's do one more time. Come all the way back to that navel, and then reverse your circle. Out with an exhale, and in with an inhale. It sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Let's do one more time. Bring it all the way back, and imagine, just using your imagination for a moment, imagine you've got a ball of light in between these hands. That's what you've been working with the whole time. And then we're going to shrink that down and let the hands come in, and the ball of light gets smaller, 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 till it's the size of like a little lacrosse ball, a softball, and it goes in the body, right into the center of your lower belly, at the center of gravity. And it gets even smaller and smaller until it turns into a little pearl of light. It just stays empowering your center of gravity. Meditating on that for just a brief moment. Then you could imagine that that little light stays there, or that it just dissolves, spreads out into your whole body, whatever you prefer. When you're ready, take a big breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Finish your meditation. Okay, Taiji ball Qigong. Fun?
Yes.
I really love this one. It's, for me, it's so meditative, and it's like working your lymph nodes and it's getting your waist warmed up in this really gentle way. But my favorite in teaching it is that then now you can do Taiji ball Qigong. You just get a ball and take it through its paces, right? So feel free to play with that next week when there won't be a class because I will be away. Let's get on up if you are willing and able, and we'll do some stance work. So the way I'll suggest this is just come and stand behind the back of your chair. That way, if you want to use the chair for hanging on to, you're welcome to. If you don't want to do that, then, well, you've got it for backup there. So for here, I don't know how well the video was seeming, but that's okay. We're just going to practice, excuse me, our basic Taiji stances. So I'm standing square on, and get your feet about a little wider than shoulder width. So use the chair if you need to, and just see if you can squiggle those feet out a little wider than shoulder width. And this is about how long our stance will be. Then take your left foot, and you're going to turn it in 45 degrees if you can. Take the right foot, and you're going to turn it out. So now I'm in my stance facing the right. Then all you're going to do is shift about 60% of the weight into that front leg. If you look down at your knee, it should be bent, but you should still be able to see all of your toes. Okay, then if you look back at me for a moment, I'll show you what not to do, which is this. This is how you get Tai Chi knee, which I learned later is just runner's knee by another name. When you lean too far, it's working these quads, but then it's making your patellas strap down on the other leg bone. So you don't want that. But if you come just to, if you look at my shin, it should be about 90 degrees to the earth. That's where you might feel this quad muscle start to kind of wake up, but it's not going to put excess pressure on that knee joint. So this is your forward stance in Tai Chi. The hips want to be kind of turning forward, but don't worry about it too much. It's not like a yoga twist where I'm trying to like twist forward. I'm just sort of turning my attention that way. All right, you got it? Does that front leg feel kind of strong? What do you think? For two of us, it does. You don't know. Well, we'll make you stand there for a little. This is in old-fashioned kung fu. If nobody responds, then you just make the stance deeper, and then you stay for about 10 minutes and you get it. I won't do that to you today, but you can just trust me. This is working those muscles on your leg. Okay, so then to come out, just turn this foot back to the center, turn the other foot back to the center. You're still a little wider than shoulder width because we're ready to go to the other side. So now the right toes turn in, the left toes turn out. I shift the weight into that knee, but not too far. And there I am. I'm in a nice, stable little seat. My hips are kind of turning toward that left side. Your tailbone, they often say tuck your tailbone under, but that's not something too extreme. It just means kind of relax that pelvis, almost like you're about to sit down in a chair. So there you are. And if you sat down in the chair, that lets you press the crown of your head up, almost like you're holding up the night sky with the crown. We'll pause here for just a moment. So these are practices when you stay in these stances. This is actually an old Chinese medicine health practice because it radically increases the circulation in your legs by just, it's a mild stance. I can feel it because I went on a big old hike and run yesterday, so my legs are like, yes, this is exercise. You may or may not, but because it requires more circulation, it's building up that power of the circulation to go down into the legs just by standing there. So quite nice. Okay, come on back, turn that toe in, turn the other toe straight, and then just shake those legs out or walk them out or rock them out or like. Okay, that makes sense, right? Pretty clear. It's sort of just turn one way and turn your feet appropriately, but this becomes the foundation for all of the other more advanced work in Tai Chi. Let's do two more stances. So a little wider than shoulder width, turn the left toes in, turn the right toes out, shift forward but not too far, that's your forward stance. And my hips are turning toward that side. They may not turn all the way, but they're turning that away. Then for my reverse stance, all I'm gonna do is shift the weight into that back leg, and my hips kind of turn slightly to the corner. Yep, so if I'm doing it the same way as you, my forward stance was here, my back stance, I put 60% of the weight back, and my hips just kind of open up a little bit. Okay, back stance. How's it feel? All right? Feels okay on your knees? Yeah, the front foot just stays pointing right where it was, but it's only got 30% of the weight now. Okay, and this one, I often feel a little stronger. You should feel it starting to load up that thigh muscle. Can you a little bit? Good. And if you want to feel it more, tuck that tailbone under like you're sitting down on a chair. And you just let the weight sink into that leg, strengthen the leg. But it's this old-fashioned sort of passive strengthening of the body, very gentle. Okay, straighten it up, come on back. Turn, toes in, toes out. Forward stance, just like before. And then I shift 60% of the weight onto the back leg. I just turn my hips slightly open to the corner, tuck the tailbone under, and I really try to settle into that back leg, really strengthening that back leg. Old-fashioned Chinese medicine isometrics exercise. You can breathe deep down into your lower belly if you like. And then when you're ready to stand on up, turn back to the center and just shake them loose. Okay, these are our basic forward and reverse stance. In 2 weeks in our next class, we'll learn a new stance, but these are enough stances for today. So any questions on those? Are we okay? Your knees feel okay? Pretty gentle in the way we're doing it, but sometimes people load their knees wrong, and I want to cut that off right before it even gets started so you don't have to experience any discomfort with this type of exercise. So now we are going to learn the second move of the 24 form. We're going to do it with the assistance of the chair. So now you learn why we need that stance. So let's take our rightward stance. So turn your left toes in, turn your right toes out, and shift that weight just enough to be loaded onto that front leg. And we're going to bring back our ball. So the right hand, your front leg hand, I better do this the same way as you, or one of us will get lost. So your right leg is forward, is that true? Yes, it is. Your right hand is going to make this ball shape right in front of your heart. So see if you can point the palm of your hand right at your heart. Very good. And this is called parting the wild horse's mane. It'll make more sense when we do the other hand with it, but you can watch me. The traditional form goes this way, and it's like, oh, I've got the long wild horse hair between my hands or something along those lines. So here's what we're going to do with the support of the chair, and I'll show you if you don't need that today, I'll show you what to do. So I'm going to take this hand, and I'm going to scoop down by my belly button. I'm in my reverse stance, and my hand is down here on the bottom of the ball. Okay, so scoop down by the belly button, then I shift into my forward stance, and the hand just comes up right there in front of the heart. Shift back and scoop right under the belly button. Shift forward, hand comes right in front of the heart. Inhale, sit back, scoop under the belly button. Exhale, scoop forward, hand right in front of the heart. Inhale, shift the weight. Exhale, shift the weight. Now you start to recognize why the waist was turning. So as I sit back, my waist slightly turns to the left. And as I shift forward, my waist slightly turns to the front. 2 more times. Inhale, scoop. And exhale in front of the heart. One more time, inhale, scoop. And exhale in front of the heart. Turning your feet back to center. And relax that hand down. That's right. So here we go. Making our stance to your left. Turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out. And here we are. Get that left hand right there in front of your heart. Very good. Yes, it's the forward leg hand. Perfect. So now as you inhale, it scoops down under your navel. As you exhale, it comes up right in front of the heart. Very good. Inhale, scoop down under the navel. Exhale right in front of the heart. Excellent stance work. So as I inhale, I shift back, just like you all are already doing. As I exhale, I shift forward. As I inhale, I shift back. As I exhale, I shift forward. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, turning the waist slightly. Exhale, turning the waist back to the front. Inhale, your waist turns slightly to your right. Exhale, the waist turns back to the front. And otra vez, one more time. And exhale. Come back to center and put it on down. How was that one? Better? Good. Okay, so we'll try a variety of different things and see what works for each of us. So this is your first move in the Taiji form. So this is a really nice exercise to do. Oh, we got 1 minute now to show you if you want to use the other hand. So the reason why we can do this with the chair is because this is where the other hand ends up anyway. So you're not missing much. This in Tai Chi, I always teach people, you know, how to get the right posture is make this other hand as if it were like on a pillar or something, like you're supporting yourself with it. So the only thing you're missing is the transition move. So let's turn toward your right. Left toe in, right toe out. What's this called? Right hand by the heart. Now, as this one scoops under your navel, this one scoops above the heart, and there's your Tai Chi ball. All you need to do then is roll the ball, and the right hand comes up, the left hand goes down. It's right where that chair would be, but if you're in free floating, then it's just pretending there's a chair there. So to transition, I call this turning the bus or turning the boat, right? So I just make a big steering wheel, put that rear hand on top, front hand on the bottom. Then as I shift forward, I roll it back up. And there you are. Turn the boat, inhale. And exhale. Okay, and I'll do a couple facing the same way as you for those. So here I go. That right hand is in front. I inhale, the left hand comes on top. And I exhale, shift forward. Inhale, big circle. And exhale, shift forward. Let's do just a couple rounds on the other side. We'll do more of this next time, and it'll be on video for you. So turning to the left, I'll start facing this way, and then I'll do a couple facing the other way. So we have that left hand up. It's scooped down. And now the only other thing to do is put the right hand on top. Then as I shift, I roll that left hand up, and the right hand just comes down as if it were catching its balance right on the chair. Then turning the boat, make a big circle, shift back, and then just roll the ball, shift forward. So you can grab the chair if you want, or you can be hovering right there in space. Turn the boat, inhale, and exhale. A couple more times, let me do it facing you. So that left hand's forward, I inhale, sit back, right hand on top, shift forward, right hand goes down. Turn the boat, shift forward, and one more time. Inhale, and exhale. Good, back to the center, and settle. Okay, what do you think? Fun? So this is your first 2 moves of the Taiji form. We have our preliminary, gathering the universe, You have commence Tai Chi. This one is your only homework. If you don't do anything else, just commence Tai Chi a few times. Then, if you want a little more, do some Tai Chi ball. This is all the basics, because as you'll notice, this is the most advanced thing we did today, was this embrace the moon, part the wild horse's mane. But it all comes from these rolling the ball movements. So next time we'll make that connection a little bit more, of sort of a couple moves that make that easier, but then just do whichever parts of this you recall. Other than that, please have a wonderful day.